So I joined the military at 19 years old. I decided to go into the Navy. God knows why, because I don't know how to swim. But I thought, traveling around the world would be great. I worked at the 137th Space Morning Squadron for about 11, 12 years. And I swore I would never commute to Buckley because it was just far, and spending that kind of time away from my family was just something I didn't want to do. But then I used my educational benefits and went to school and got my degree. And the Guard was very, very helpful. My boss at the time was very lenient with me going to school and working here. So I was able to get my master's degree and found that I outgrew my position, and I applied for a job at the 140th. To ARPC specifically. But before I went there, I got the opportunity to finally go and serve my country, boots on the ground. So I went to Iraq with the 140th back in 2011. So that was like one of the best experiences I ever had. I always wanted to go, and I never did. And so when I was there, I treasure that time deeply. And I learned a lot, and I grew a lot out there. February of 2019, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And going back a few months, I thought I had the flu 3 different times consecutively. And finally I realized, who has the flu for 3 months? So I was on chemotherapy for about 4 months, and I was hopeful because the oncologist said that it was treatable and beatable. And 2 months later, after I thought I was in remission, 2 months after I'd gotten off of chemotherapy, it came back, and it had spread everywhere. So at that point, I went back into surgery, and I was diagnosed at stage 4 at that time. They work harder at quality of life and not quantity. So that's pretty much what I'm told. So anything that causes my body distress, they work at making me feel better so I don't have to suffer through this disease until the end. So I was 49 years old at the time, and the age that most people go and get screened and tested is 50. So I would not have even known. The cancer would have even grown more if I had waited. And the doctor wasn't available, so I went to see the nurse practitioner. And she said, well, you are getting up there in age, and it's common that you would feel your digestive system not working as good as it used to. So just take some Metamucil and call it good. So I was relieved that that's all that it could have been. And that was not the case. It was not because of my age, and it was not anything like that. I had not gotten screened because I wasn't 50. The insurance companies only pay for you to get screened when you're 50, not until you're 50. And that has changed, I believe, over the years recently. So I think the new age is 45. And if you have anyone in your family, your immediate family that has cancer, then they go back 15 years so to get screened. So right now, my children should start getting screened at the age of 35. Get checked and do all the screenings, do everything possible. And when you do hit your 40s and your 50s, everything changes unless you continue to be healthy and work out and have physical activity in your life. I mean, even if it's just walking, you need to be active, and you need to start eating more healthy foods and less processed foods. Make your own food, have a garden, start eating things that are organic, which is really hard to do because you'd go to the store to buy soil, and even the soil has chemicals in it. And some things you can't get away from. Environmental hazards, you can't help but where you live,
What keeps your spirits up?
I appreciate that, first of all. My faith. Because having stage 4 cancer is not something that you want to accept. And just knowing that I have, my family, and I have my grandsons that are only 1 and 3, I would like to see grow up. And my husband is always talking about, hey, remember we wanted to go retire in New Mexico, and remember we wanted to travel the world and sell pottery and and go to art shows, and I'm a realist, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm not going to get to do that, but I'm going to speak as if I will be able to, but I still make the arrangements, knowing that my time is limited, and I spend each day making it worthwhile. I don't like to stay in bed and just watch the day go by, and something good has to happen every single day. I try to reach out to my friends and have memories built